We think we know what a monster looks like. Something born wrong. Something that crawls out of the dark, already twisted, already hungry, already lost. We wait for the moment of arrival. The fangs, the claws, the first scream. But monstrosity is not a birth. It is an education. A slow, deliberate process that begins not with violence, but with something far quieter. Abandonment. Mary Shelley understood this. In 1818, at 18 years old, grieving the death of her own children, watching love turn to ash in her hands, she wrote Frankenstein, not as a horror story, but as a question. What happens when you create a life and then refuse to love it? The answer is not immediate. It does not arrive with thunder or fire. It arrives in stages. First, confusion, then longing, then rage, and finally, the cold acceptance that love was never part of the design. Frankenstein is not the monster. Frankenstein is the man who made one by looking at his creation and turning away. The creature had no name, no origin story, no narrative of its own. Only the void left behind by the person who should have stayed. That void is where every monster begins. If you're drawn to stories like this, stories that dig beneath the surface of myth and ask what they mean about us, you're in the right place. Mythoria exists because these stories matter, because the old myths, the dark ones, the ones we keep retelling, are not entertainment. They are mirrors, and sometimes what we see in them is unbearable. That's why we're here. To look anyway. If that resonates, consider subscribing. We're building something for people who want depth, not distraction. Now, back to Victor. Victor Frankenstein does not begin as a villain. He begins as a man obsessed with a singular question. Can death be reversed? Not should it be, not what comes after. Just can it? This is the mind of the creator, focused entirely on capability. Blind to consequence, he withdraws, cuts himself off from family, from friends, from anyone who might ask why he is doing this. He works in secret, in the dark, surrounded by the dead. He dissects corpses, he studies decay. He learns the architecture of the body and decides he can improve it. His creation is not an act of love, it is an act of ego, a monument to his own intellect, proof that he can do what gods and nature have refused. And he succeeds. He animates the dead. He forces life into a body that should not breathe. And the moment the creature opens its eyes, Victor sees not a miracle. He sees a mistake. Something he cannot control, something that reflects his own monstrosity back at him. So he runs. The creature's first breath is met with silence. Its first sight is the back of its creator, already fleeing. It is born into abandonment. And that is the first wound, the one that will never close. The creature does not know what it is. It wakes into a world with no language for it, no category, no place. It feels cold, hunger, the ache of a body that was never meant to exist, but more than anything, it feels alone. Victor is gone. The room is empty. The door is open. The creature stands, moves toward the light. It does not yet understand that light is not the same as warmth. It wanders through the streets. People see it and scream. Doors slam. Stones are thrown. It does not understand why. It has done nothing, harmed no one. It only exists. But existence, it learns, is enough to be hated. This is the second wound, the world's rejection. The creature retreats, hides in the forests, in the shadows, in places where no one will see. It survives alone, without instruction, without comfort, and in that survival, something begins to form. Not rage, not yet, longing. The creature finds a family. A small cottage at the edge of the woods. An old man, his children. They are poor, but they are kind to each other. The creature watches them for months. It learns their language, listens to their stories, understands the rhythm of their days, and it begins to help them. At night when they sleep, the creature chops wood, clears snow, leaves food at their door. It does this in secret, because it knows what will happen if it is seen. But still, it hopes. It believes that if it proves itself good, if it demonstrates kindness, it will be accepted. This is the creature's greatest mistake. It believes love can be earned. One day, it reveals itself. It waits until the old man is alone. The old man is blind. He cannot see the creature's face. The creature enters, speaks. It asks carefully, desperately, for friendship. The old man listens. He does not recoil. For a moment, the creature believes it has found what it has been searching for. Then the others return. They see the creature, its face, its body, the wrongness of it. They scream. They grab weapons. They beat the creature until it flees. The family abandons the cottage that night. They leave everything behind rather than share space with the thing that tried to love them. The creature returns to the empty house, and something inside it breaks. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, like a bone that snaps under weight it was never meant to carry. This is the moment when longing curdles into something else. The creature learns that it does not matter how kind it is, how gentle, how human. It will always be seen as a monster. And if the world has already decided what it is, why should it fight to be anything else? Victor created the body. But this moment, this rejection, this is what creates the monster. The creature's rage is not blind, it is precise, born from understanding. And that understanding arrives in the form of a journal. Victor's journal. The creature finds it tucked into the coat it wore when it first woke. The only inheritance its creator left behind. Inside are pages, ink-stained, frantic, detailed. The creature reads, and for the first time it sees itself through its creator's eyes. Victor's words are cold, clinical. He describes the process of assembly, the selection of parts, the measurements. He writes about the creature as an experiment, a test. There is no awe, no wonder, no love, only disgust. Victor describes the moment of animation, how he expected beauty, how he was met with horror. He writes that he wished he had never succeeded. The creature reads this and understands. It was never meant to be cherished. It was meant to prove a point. And when that point was made, it became disposable. Every rejection now has a source. The world did not decide it was a monster. Victor did, and the world simply agreed. Frankenstein is part of an old pattern. Prometheus stole fire and gave it to humanity. He believed he was offering a gift, but fire does not care about intention. Prometheus was punished, chained to a rock, his liver eaten daily, only to regenerate and be consumed again. He suffered not because he failed, but because he succeeded. Victor is the same. The golem was shaped from clay and animated with sacred words, built to protect. But it had no soul, no restraint. When it began to kill indiscriminately, its creator had to destroy it. The golem was not evil, it was incomplete. Made without love, it became a weapon. Talos, the bronze giant, was forged to guard an island, a machine, a tool. He killed anyone who approached, not out of malice, out of programming. These myths all ask the same question Frankenstein asks. What happens when you create something and refuse to take responsibility for it? The creation becomes a mirror. It reflects the creator's cowardice, cruelty, failure, and eventually it returns to its source, not for reconciliation, for reconciliation. Victor's creature is different in one critical way. It is capable of love. It wanted love. It begged for it. And that is what makes its transformation so devastating. The creature did not lack humanity. It had too much. When the world taught it that those feelings were worthless, it learned to weaponize them. This is the moral inversion. Victor is not the tragic hero. He is the coward who mistook creation for conquest. The creature is not the monster. It is the most human figure in the entire story. The creature confronts Victor with a final request, not revenge, not violence. Companionship, build me a partner, someone who will not recoil, someone like me. The creature promises to disappear, to vanish into the wilderness, far from humanity. It offers peace. Victor agrees. He begins the work, but as the second body nears completion, Victor's fear returns. He imagines a race of creatures, a world he cannot control, so he destroys it. He tears the second creature apart in front of the first, and in doing so, he destroys the last shred of hope the creature had left. This is the final betrayal. The creature makes a vow. It will be there on Victor's wedding night. Victor believes the threat is aimed at him. It is not. On his wedding night, Elizabeth dies. The creature takes what Victor loves most, because that is the language Victor taught it. Victor chases the creature across continents into the frozen Arctic. A man pursuing his own consequence. He collapses in the ice, exhausted, broken. Victor dies cursing the creature he made, and the creature returns, not to celebrate, to mourn. It stands over Victor's body and weeps. It is the only being left with enough humanity to feel the loss. The creature speaks to the corpse. It tells Victor that it wanted to be good, that it tried, that it loved him even as it destroyed him. But love was never part of the design. The creature disappears into the cold. It carries every unanswered question into the ice. We are left to wonder what it might have become had it been loved instead of abandoned. Victor created a mirror, and he died because the reflection was unbearable. A monster is not born, it is made. First comes rejection, then neglect, then fear. When the world finishes its lessons, what remains is a figure sculpted entirely by what was denied. The creature was capable of love, and that is what destroyed it. To create a monster, you need only one ingredient: abandonment.